Greetings, peoples of the interwebs. Jake here, and I am once more hiking back up to Tri-State Peak to catch a sunrise, which, as you can tell, it's already getting pretty light out. But I'm hoping I can make it to the top just as the sun is rising above the mountains. So this is my last full day here at Cumberland Gap. Don't have an exact plan, but I think I might hike a little bit more in the Virginia side, and maybe even hike back down into Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, because I really like that little town. I'd like to eat, but we shall see, and I will catch you all at sunrise. I once more find myself at the top of Tri-State Peak, standing in the middle of 3 different states. Now, one of the reasons why I want to come back here is not only to catch the sunrise, but I also wanted to show this lovely beauty. There's Middleborough down there. The last video you couldn't really see it all that well because of all the fog and snow. But yeah, so there we go. There's Middlesboro right there. As you can see, the sun is illuminated those mountains off in the background, but little old Middlesboro is still in the shadow because the sun is right over there. The sun kind of beat me because I was a little late at catching the sunrise, and I debated going to Pinnacle Overlook, but by the time I got to that trailhead, it was like a little over a mile away, so I figured, let's just catch the sunrise here. And yeah, just when I sit down and enjoy, just bask in the beauty. Because right now, I'm the only one on the trail, or at least on this side. Because I got an early morning, because it's a Saturday, and I wanted to get here early before the parking lot got crowded. So, another lovely day, and I'll catch you all on the trail. Alright, everybody. So I find myself back on the Wilderness Trail after catching sunrise at Tri-State Peak. So, I think what I'm going to do now is explore more of the Wilderness Road. So that way leads back to the Thomas Walker parking lot where I am located. So I'm going to go this way because I only explored this direction up to the point where you can turn off the Wilderness Road into the town of Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, which I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to make a pit stop in there because I really love that town. From just the little I was walking around, just a cute little town. Grabbed a coffee and some second breakfast the other day when I was here, so I think I might make a pit stop there and do the exact same thing, have myself some second breakfast, probably a coffee, and then head further down the Wilderness Trail in this direction on the Tennessee side. And yeah, so I'm gonna throw on some tunes and you all can follow along. And I will catch you all in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. Here we are, the trail to Cumberland Gap. Okay, so before I get some second breakfast, I'm going to explore a little bit more down the wilderness trail. I am loving this little waterfall here. I was talking to a dude just a couple of minutes ago, kind of asked him what all's up this way. He said there's a cave, so I'm going to go check that out before popping into Cumberland Gap, Tennessee for some second breakfast. I also want to take a look at this waterfall. Get a closer look. Alright, I'll see you all up the trail at that cave. Alright, so that there is Gap Cave. And just peeking my head in there, it is rather toasty. I'm not sure what the purpose of this cave is, but I know I saw a sign saying that it was monitoring animals. But pretty cool little structure there. And not a terrible view of, the mountains and stuff like that in the background. Kind of obscured because of all the trees and whatnot, but still not a bad little view. Definitely a steep hike up here. But I'd say if you're on this side of the trail, I'd say it's probably worth checking out. Especially now, because you can actually see. Because imagine once spring is in full bloom, probably won't be able to see a whole lot of Cumberland Gap, Tennessee down there, let alone much of anything else. But still, a neat little detour. And I would not have known about this if it wasn't for that random dude that I came across, which I'm assuming he was a local. He didn't have a backpack, so it didn't look like a backpacker, hiker, or anything like that. So probably a local just doing their morning walk, which, yeah, if I lived in this area, on either side, Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, I would probably be doing these trails on a regular basis. On nice days, get my exercise in, because it is absolutely beautiful here at Cumberland Gap. But alright, everybody, I'll see you all back out on the trail. Back here at Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, behind the iron furnace there. So this is Gap Creek. Check now, there's a little trail that led here Thursday morning when I was here. Yeah, so if you didn't watch my previous video, that iron furnace is all that's left, or that tower is all that's left of an iron furnace from the 1820s, I believe. And it's basically powered by the Gap Creek here. It is running rather mightily right now due to all the rain recently. Yeah, I kind of wanted to get some shots of the creek before I head down into the town of Cumberland Gap. I'm back on the Wilderness Trail after popping into the town of Cumberland Gap, Tennessee for some second breakfast, which I did because I came back to Cumberland Gap, Tennessee today because Thursday when my first full day here, kind of just stumbled across it and had an appetite, so I stopped in for some food. And it's just a cute little town, so I returned just to kind of like capture some footage of the little town. Also grab me a bite to eat at Gap Creek Coffee House again, because I really liked just a cozy little place. And if it was warmer, I would have loved to have sat outside and had my meal and my coffee, but still nonetheless a nice little meal. I had a, what was it? A chicken, like a grilled chicken panini with a, it was the Scottish Fling coffee. I forget what it had in it, but it's really good. And then Thursday, the first day that I went there, I had the Mountain Man coffee and the pimento cheese, jalapeno, and bacon panini, which was really good. But yeah, now that I've got a full belly, I'm going to explore more of the Wilderness Trail. And this is my last full day here, so I want to try and capture some more footage, get some hiking in, burn off those calories from that panini. And I don't know, maybe return either to the Tri-State Peak or Pinnacle Overlook, maybe for sunset, because I came at Tri-State Peak for sunrise, which will either be in this video, maybe another one. Either way, stay tuned, or just, cycle through the videos until you get to that one. However I end up editing and uploading. But also, if you have not watched one of the previous videos about Cumberland Gap, so the Wilderness Trail has been in use basically since, I don't know, probably since like Native Americans first found out that this trail cuts through the Appalachian Mountains. And then of course, once the pioneers discovered the gap here in the Cumberland Mountains, they also started to utilize it. And so it's got a lot of history, and I'm a history nerd, so I thought this was really cool, because this is not something that you'd learn in your typical history class. So I don't know, I just think it's neat that I'm walking the same path as, so many people did in the past. Trying to imagine the trail looks quite a bit different now. I mean, I don't know, this part of the trail might be sort of similar, but obviously some of the other parts have are paved or partially paved or have gravel road. So obviously that's not how the early pioneers and Native Americans are traveling this trail. But I imagine this is maybe a little bit more akin to how they're traveling it. And probably had to cut down some trees and shrubbery and whatnot to make the trail a little bit more easier to traverse, especially once they started, using pack animals to carry supplies through the gap. But yeah, so now that I've gotten my little ramble out of the way, I'm going to put on some music for you lovely people, and you can follow me along on my hike along the Wilderness Trail. Actually, before I end my little ramble, so if you all could do me a favor and subscribe, because my goal, which I feel like is pretty realistic, and not asking for a whole lot, is to get 300 subscribers by the end of the year, which Today is March 14th. Let me double check. Yes, the 14th. So we're still pretty early in the year. I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty easy milestone to reach for this tiny little channel. Yeah, just help me get to 300 by the end of the year. You know, if you enjoy this content you want to share with your friends, family, loved ones, your dog, your neighbor's dog, or maybe they're a cat person and they've got cats, you can share with the cats too. So yeah, I'm normally not one to, I don't know, do the whole YouTube-y thing of, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, but it is appreciated if you do decide to take the time to, yeah, do all that stuff. So that way more people can check out my content here. But regardless, I mean, this is a hobby, hiking, and I'm just turning my hobby into content, so I'm happy either way. But it would nonetheless be appreciative if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and just hit that little subscribe button. But anywho, now that my spiel is over, let's cue some cozy tunes while you follow along on my hike here of the Wilderness Trail. So I've done a pretty good loop of the Wilderness Trail. I'm at the parking lot, so I'm gonna hop in my car and maybe go back to the hotel and crash for a little bit before coming back out. So until next time, everyone, cheers.